Hey folks, Vortex here and welcome to my review of the PULA Audio Unicrom. So this is a single dynamic driver per side, which is what I like to see, keeping it simple. And this is priced about, I think, £52. So I've never tried anything from this brand before. PULA or PULA, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that, P-U-L-A, so it's spelt. And yeah, as usual, full disclaimers, I'd like to thank Hi-Fi Go for sending this out to me, so thank you very much. I was not paid to this video, nor thoughts and opinions are my own, as per usual. And yet, single DD should be a simple setup. They look pretty good, and obviously you can see I have not tried these yet. So yeah, let's just get into it. So let's have a close look. Really cool packaging, that crazy reflective. The Unicrom. Again, these companies released a few items, but I've never tried them. But anyway, PULA Audio, heavy to pronounce, so I'm going to call it the Unicrom in this video. One dynamic driver per side, but again simple, 101 dB, 32 ohm pins, all relatively normal. So it looks like it's got two plug types, 2-pin 0.78, cable length is 1.25, silver plated copper. Yeah, I like the colour. I don't know what I've got. I think this is 4 different colours. Yeah, I presume that's gold, maybe. We'll see. I didn't really ask for any particular colour. I'll just have whatever they send out, really. Box is a little bit tight. I have to give it a bit of a wiggle. There we go. Quite a large box, really, but we'll see. Okay, so it's kind of a browny gold colour, so that's quite nice. Comes with the tip already on it. It's like a fake wood appearance. Shell's not that large. Let's just take this off. It looks relatively normal. Small hole there for it to vent. You can see fingerprints already. Yeah, so that's that. That's quite nice. Just a silica gel, quite nice. Have to keep delving into the depths of the box. Warranty card, well, warranty piece of paper there. Tips. So you got the ones on there. Quite a few there if you need that, and cable underneath here. So yeah, 2 types. 3.5 is already on. I'll have to see if you have to screw them off. I'll have a look in a bit. That's it. Cable looks pretty cool. Left and right. 4.4. So yeah, that's that. So I obviously have no idea what these are like. Maybe V-shaped, U-shaped. We will see. So yeah, I'll see you in the next part of the video. So welcome to my review section of the PULA Unicrom. I'm just going to call it the Unicrom. So this is what it looks like with the cable. So what it doesn't show you, see here, this section right there, this screws off, and that's how you get it off. It looks like it's one piece, but here this does screw off. So that's that. The cable is actually pretty solid. That's how it's woven. It's a Y split chin slider there, quite stiff. That's what it looks like fitted. One thing I've noticed on my pair, see this is quite, see here, this is quite aggressively pointing, where to focus. See this from here, it's going that way. Now this one is like slightly off, which is fine. See, slightly off from the centre. This one's more aggressively turned. Obviously you want it to sit here, but it wasn't really a big deal. Just bear that in mind. You might have to use a bit of heat to apply more straight. But anyway, this is what they look like. I think they look fantastic, really. Yeah, I like that kind of finish. Obviously left on there, left, and I've tried some different tips. This is the tips it comes with, and that's pretty much there. Obviously 2-pin. No problems there. So power and sensitivity on this set was no issues at all. DDs are normally the most straightforward, and I had no problems with this at all, really. So comfort and fit, It's a very generic shape, which means no issues with the fit. You can see slightly sticks up there, but the comfort and fit I thought was really good, really. Probably not the best I've tried, but definitely one of the better ones for fitment. Really, no issues at all. Timbre on this set, not bad. Not the best, but not too bad at all, really. It is tuned, well, I'll talk about the tuning in a bit, but yeah, timbre's okay. Technicalities on this, I'd say is average. It's not bad and it's not great. It's smack bang in the middle, kind of somewhere. I'd say medium. It's okay. You only really notice this if you compare them between IEMs. If you only have one pair, you probably won't obviously notice the difference because you're not comparing it to another. I can because I've got spares basically, but yeah, technicalities average really. Soundstage was okay really, nothing amazing. There's a spike further up. It seems to do lack a little bit of like upper treble. There's something missing further up. But yeah, it's okay. Imaging wise seems fine as well. For a DD, they are, as I say, they are just a dynamic driver. The driver that they use seems quite capable. It doesn't seem like, oh, it's not fantastic, it's not amazing, but it's the DD they've used is decent. Anyway, so tuning wise, before I got these, I didn't really know what to expect. I'm maybe thinking V shape, U shape, depends how they dampen the driver. And yeah, to put the graph up so you can have a look. So the tuning on this set is kind of what I was expecting. Mine have a slight mismatch further up, but to be honest, I never really noticed it in using it. So tuning on these, maybe want to call it V shape in a way. Bass, quite fun, quite exciting. They're not really sub-bass monsters, more of a mid-bass approach, which is absolutely fine with me. For electronic, they sound fine. They are a bit warm sounding, so you do lack detail. The mids are recessed on this set, you do miss that. They do have a thicker note to the sound because obviously they are on the warmer tune. You can see they do bleed a bit into the mid-range. Again, ultimately I don't mind that. Probably bleed a touch too much, but because of the tuning, it's probably more for the mass market. Really, I think more people would prefer this tuning than something that sounds really thin and boring. Really, and apart from that, not a bad set for bass. Again, they do have enough punch for electronic and a lot of other genres I quickly tried. They seem to work absolutely fine. Yeah, so mids again, they sound have a thicker, warm tuning to it. So male vocals do sound thick. Female vocals also again do sound fine. They're vocal wise, it's okay. They are a bit recessed because it's kind of a V shape really, and quite an uneventful tuning so far. Treble, so because I've got a lot of bass on this, see the treble is obviously the pin is between 3 and 4. On bass like music, they do have a brighter sound because obviously that's in the E again that's where we hear the most. So that's why they tend to typically boost in the area because that's the most visible kind of part where we listen to music or we hear things. So bass like music, they do have a brighter tune to them, but when it's bassy in music, it's less noticeable because of that, because it's V-shaped ish kind of tuning. So in some music, he didn't really. If you got tracks with a lot of bass, you don't really notice the sharpness or the brighter. But when it's bass light, you do notice it a bit. But apart from that, they're quite okay. It's very uneventful tuning, like I've said before. That mismatch, well, not mismatch, but the drivers are slightly mismatched. I never noticed that when I listened to these really. Again, I graph these after. There's that peak 14k-ish. Very rarely notice that. It all depends on what you're listening to, really, and obviously the 8k is from the coupler. But overall tuning is quite uneventful, but it's quite standard, but quite fun really. Again, for electronic music is absolutely fine. If you got music which is bass light with a lot of treble, you probably notice that kind of 3 to 4.5k-ish elevation, got that kind of boost, shall we say. But if you don't, if it's not in the music and not listened to, you won't notice it. Yeah, kind of a fun, yeah, definitely kind of more of a fun based tuning kind of set. And these, I think, just over £50, £52, I think, something like that, which is not too bad for what you get. I think that they are easily worth that kind of money. Obviously, if you want something more balanced than this, these aren't for you. Or if you need to EQ a bit, you can also always have a go with that. I personally did not EQ these sets. I was trying to listen to them out the box, which is, it's up to the end user if they want to EQ it. But for people who don't use any sort of EQ, it's always good to try it without EQ, because obviously most folks probably won't. They'll probably use it plug and play, plug into their source, and that's it. But yeah, tuning is uneventful. So conclusion is, what do I think? Not a bad set. They're not perfect. I think they are priced probably perfectly fine for what they are. They're not worth 80, 90, £100, nothing like that. They're worth 52. I think it's about £52. Really nice look, fit, finish. The tuning's actually pretty good. I don't really have any issues for that. You know, what you see is what you get. You get good enough tips. Cable's good. 3.5 and 4.4 connector. The case is good as well. Yeah, I do like my time. I did enjoy my time, and they're just ultimately nothing special. Tuning is fairly standard, but it is a tuning I think is probably enough for the mass market, really, to cover a lot of bases, really. I think probably a lot of folks will like this kind of tuning. It's fairly, I'd say, fairly inoffensive, and it should cover a lot of genres well enough, really. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So if you think I missed anything about the Unicroms, please do let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you in the next video.